All right, so today I'm going to be discussing the preview for the Dallas Cowboys versus the Pittsburgh Steelers Week 9. This will be one of the greatest games of the season for the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers because we have two of the greatest trios in the league going at it. Well, we got Pittsburgh, we got Big Ben, we got AB, and we got Le'Veon Bell. And with Dallas, we got Dak, Zeke the Freak, and Dez. Now, for starters, this will be one of the big games for Dallas, according to the critics. I'm using air quotes with critics because a lot of people say that they haven't beaten good teams. They said their schedule has been easier and that this is going to be the harder side of their schedule. Even though we've beaten teams like Green Bay, who a lot of people, they're always hyping up Green Bay no matter what. The Eagles, they were one of the hyped up teams. Even though they've been falling off, they're still very hyped up. The Bengals, back when we faced them, they were still getting some little bit of steam. So Dallas, they've been their fair share of trash teams and good teams. But this week, let me tell you why I believe that the Cowboys will win. And no, I know some people will be like, "Oh, you're biased. You're just saying that." No, no, I actually do believe that we can defeat them. There's some teams that when I see, I'll be like, okay, this is going to be a little bit tough. For example, with the Packers, before I knew that they were a shell of their former self, they weren't going to be the Packers who we always thought they were. I thought that was going to be a close, if not, we could lose that game, but when it comes to Pittsburgh, here's why I believe that we can defeat them. Now, for starters, I'm not sure if this is true, or I know this is true, but I don't know the update on it. But Le'Veon Bell, apparently he had like going for some type of like injury check or something. So if Le'Veon Bell isn't playing, which I doubt he won't be playing, I saw it on Twitter. It said something like he has to go in for some injury or something. So if Le'Veon Bell isn't playing, that's a huge load off the Dallas defense because we know that the Dallas defense, listen, on paper, they might be ranked good, but I know as a fan watching them week after week after week, they are not good. So if Le'Veon Bell's in there, that's a good thing because that's one less of the biggest threats taken off. But then when you think about it, the Steelers, they are also a team, just like the Packers to me, who are a shell of them forward selves. Like, they do not look like the same Steelers. And the biggest reason why is their defense. Whenever we think about Pittsburgh, we always think of defense. So Troy Polamalu, James Harrison, with those players, we always talk about their defense. But I'm going to be honest, I can't name one standout player on the defense. Now, I know some people might be like, oh, that's because you're not a Steelers fan or you don't watch football. No, no, no. There's always at least that one player, at least couple of two players on the team who's the household name for the defense. And I don't think that Pittsburgh has that same solid defense as they did a couple years ago because, listen, when teams like we know the Dolphins, or not the Dolphins, but we do know that the Eagles, they were able to like shred them like 34-3, and that's because we see that their defense just is the same. We know other teams are beating them. They lost a very close game last week, even with Big Ben being back. So I just think that the defense is going to be the easiest thing or not the easiest thing, but that's going to be their downfall. But their offense is still very high powered. Big Ben, AB. But the one thing that I was going to say Adrian Peterson, Antonio Brown said, he said, yo, people on offense need to step up and do more work. So I think that could have done two things. That could have either A, motivated the other players to like step up and start doing the job, or B, that could have caused some friction within the team because we know that if a player speaks out and be like, oh, it's not my fault, then it's the team's fault, then they could start looking at the player a little bit funny. So hopefully it caused some friction just because it'll be better for us. But why do I keep saying Adrian? Antonio Brown, we know that he thinks that at this point it's not his fault. It's not him or Big Ben. So that's the whole thing with that. Now we move on to Dallas. Let's hope that Zeke and basically Zeke can get the running game going, the offensive line. They got to do the job like always. One of the, if not the greatest offensive lines in the league. They're going to do their thing. The people who have to step up or this time, I think, are the receivers because Dak needs to get going early. We know that Zeke, he's going to do his thing. Zeke's going to eat regardless. Let Zeke eat. But we need Dak to get off quick to match Big Ben's fire and power because just imagine if we're down in the game or if Dak has to make another comeback, we can't just rely on the running game. We have to get Dak going. He has to start firing, go hitting his receivers, hitting Cole, hitting Terrence, hitting Dez, all of them. We got to don't force any passes because while I don't don't think that the Steelers defense are the same. They're still somewhat of a good defense, you know what I'm saying? So don't go and force any passes to Dez. Play smart like he usually does. We know, listen, I was so happy when we found out that Dez, basically, if you guys don't follow Dez on Twitter, he said something along the lines, or not, he's basically, because Skip Bayless was like, oh, Dez is crying out there. He was like, no, I don't care about stacks. He cares about winning. So I like that a lot from Dez, because a lot of people, including myself, we all thought that Dez was going to be complaining that he's not getting the ball as much. But the fact that it came from his words, his mouth himself, and he said, I don't care about the ball. I just want to win. That's a green light for Dak to just say, I'm not saying completely ignore Dez, but that's a green light for Dak to like make smarter passes, because we saw what happened in the Eagles games when he kept trying to force passes to Dez. Yes, they did pay off sometimes, but other times it was like a waste of a throw. So I'm happy that Dak, he's going to be able to get back in there and get basically play like he normally does. And in the end, if everything goes as I predicted, we should come out with a dub. The defense, they're going to have to step up too. I know that the corners, listen, whoever's covering Antonio Brown, which will probably be either Brandon Carr. Oh my God, good best of luck to you, because AB, he's going to go crazy. But the one thing I do got to say about Brandon Carr is that he did good against AJ Green back when we played the Bengals. So if Brandon Carr can step up and do his job, then by all means, I'll give you all the credit that you deserve. But that's basically it for this little preview. Who do you guys think is going to win? As for the score, this will probably be a high-scoring game. I'll give it Dallas 24, Pittsburgh 20, somewhere around there. But that's basically it for this little video. Who do you guys think is going to win? Comment what you guys think down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.